everyone. I'm with Larry La today. He's a very great entrepreneur, immigrant, and has received Outstanding American by Choice Award in 2015, which is received only by 5 to 7 people every year, which is a great accomplishment. So we're gonna learn from his journey today, all the hardship he has faced, and how he started his business, and how he converted into success, and basically how to make yourself bigger than what you are right now. So thank you.
So this is your project for high school.
Mainly, so this project is mainly for our high school because we have a lot of immigrant families, 80% of them, and most of them just came to the U.S. and had no idea where they're in, and they face a lot of cultural shock. So we need guidance from Asian immigrants because most of them are Asian, like you, or just outstanding community leaders to should they take when they come to the U.S. and how should they adapt to the community as a whole.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So let's start with your journey first. So you came here from Vietnam.
Yeah, I was born and grew up in a war-torn Vietnam. Every day you hear guns out, every day you hear explosion. And in Vietnam, it's not joking, but it's real that if you hear explosion, that means you're still alive. That's the way we look at the war there. And in Vietnam, even in the grade school, we don't have school bus. We just walk home from school. So we walk together with with our classmates, and we pass by the market. Sometimes we see dead body, and we just come there and look at the dead body and just walk on. It just become numb because it's happened all the time. So that's why the environment of our growing up like that. And then in 1975, 50 years ago, this year, the force of Saigon. So the communists now took over the whole country, and then we lived under the new government for 3.5 years, and we decided to leave Vietnam because at that time we were Chinese ethnic. We are not welcome in Vietnam that much anyway. So we think that we have to get out. So that's why we pay to the boat owner and the government, so we get on the boat to live. And the only guarantee that they have when you pay gold is just to get on the boat, nothing else. They don't guarantee you to go to what country or what island or what refugee camp. No, it's nothing. Just only to get on the boat and get out. So when you're on the international water, that's your own. The wind, the storm, the pirate, everything is all the risk. So we took that very big risk. Now looking back, we didn't know why we took that kind of trip. It's really dangerous. So many people in the boat and so much uncertainty. So we on the ocean. Sometimes we just only see water and sky, nothing else. Don't see anything. It's a huge. It's that Pacific Ocean. So finally, after 9 days and 3 nights, we got to Kuching Sarawak. That's the island in East Malaysia. So the government accept us. So we're in the refugee camp for 13 months. And then from there, we wait for a sponsorship in the U.S. First, you need to accept by the U.S. government. They vet you, see who you are and what all these things. And then after they accept you, they sworn you in, and then wait for the sponsorship in the United States. At that time, they have a refugee center in New York City. They send all the refugee people all over the country to look for a sponsorship. So the First Baptist Church of Irwin, Tennessee, East Tennessee, sponsored our family. In 1979, the end of 79, we land into the U.S. That is the end of our risky journey and to start a new life.
Yeah.
And you talk about culture shock. That town is only 5,000 population. No other race except white. And the people that stay there, they've been there for generation after generation. They've been there for a long time. So it's culture shock for me to be in the city, but actually it's culture shock for them too, to have an Asian guy to be there. So we are really lucky to get there and so start new.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, you said you're the only person in the whole city to be an Asian, and even in the East Tennessee University, you said you're the only only person on the Hall of Fame that's an Asian.
Yeah. The Hall of Fame, I was the only Hall of Fame an Asian. Yeah. But they have a few Asian students, but not many, very few. And they have about 15,000 the university is pretty big. I mean, fairly big, 15,000 students, but not many Asian. And we're lucky to get there. So I was there, and just like in the book, we said about the people they want to come to see to my house to see how Asian look like.
Uh-huh.
All these things. It's really fun to be in that town. I still keep in touch with that. The day that I met you at the Chinese American Museum, there's I didn't see them. They came in late, so they stood outside. They from Irving, Tennessee, because
So all the way from
the young man, he just graduated from college, Eastern State University, and he got an internship job here in the United States. And he and his parents and his friend come up to stay here. He stay here, but his parents just stay here a few days and go home. They were in the audience, but I didn't know that. Otherwise, I would have caught them out. And so that's what that's. But last month, I was in Tennessee, where I was out to visit that. I've been back many times, but that's the time that the public library, they organize a lunch, not a lunch, but they organize a book signing. And it's packed. The room was packed just like that day at Chinese American Museum. And the people of town, some of them I know, some of them been there, and they bring their friends and everything. So we have a great time that day.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So you were just talking about how you were the only person in the whole city or whatever. Can you share any specific details about what kind of like cultural shock or whatever you experienced?
Yeah, definitely cultural shock because you've been to Tennessee?
I have been there once.
East Tennessee is different from the West. They talk very different.
Okay.
And sometimes, especially when I first came to this country, so my English was broken English and all these things, and it's very hard to understand them. It's hard for them to understand me. It took a while to get used to their accent, and because that city is very small town. And since I know that I'm going to stay there because I want to live there, I want to go to school nearby. The school is not in that town. The school is about 50 miles away in Johnson City, a bigger city. So I need to know the people in town. So I walk out the streets. I say hello to anybody that I see. It doesn't matter. Man, woman, I just say good morning, good afternoon, man, sir, and I stick my hand out to shake the hand. Some of them shake my hand, some of them they kind of skeptical. They don't want to shake my hand, but to me it's fine because I know that they're skeptical because they've been living there for many years. And here come a guy that look different, talk different, come to the town. So, but after a while, the town become. They know about that. The newspaper called Owen Record, the only newspaper in town. They interview me and put me on the front page of the newspaper, and that article told the whole city who I was, and that really opened up. So I got to know people, and they invite me to the book club, and they invite me to and I even went to high school to talk to the students. When you study American history in high school, they have a Vietnam War era. So that's when they come to Vietnam War era. They invite me to come to talk to the students about how Vietnam and all these things. It's really very exciting. And I remember the Time magazine in 1984. Do you follow war history? They have a solidarity in Poland. The Lech Wałęsa, later he became the president, the first president of the Republic Polish. And he started a revolution and changed the communist government in Poland.
Yeah.
So on the front page of the Time magazine have his picture and have the caption say, "He dares to hop." And I showed to the student in high school that what that means. He dares to hop. Nobody figured what, because in the country like Vietnam or Poland at the time, you growing up, you don't dare to hop anything. You just do whatever the government tell you to do. But here in the United States, you can hop anything you want to. Like you want to go to Columbia, you want to go to NYU, all these things you hop to. But over there, you don't have that kind of
the freedom,
the freedom to do that. So the caption is very simple. He dares to hop. But it make a big difference to me, like the people like me, but not for the student there.
Yeah, you said gradually with your efforts in networking and all that, you became, you got along with them and whatever. What was the first moment that you feel you belong to the city?
Yeah, anywhere you go, later on in life to Alan, your character, your personality, your approach to people, that changes a lot of things.
Of course.
Definitely run into somebody, but good thing the majority of people are very good. A few people that kind of discriminate,
Yeah.
racial discrimination, everything like that. But it's everywhere. Even in China, in Vietnam, in anywhere you go, they have a few people like that. So I did run into some of that people too, especially at work. Some guy just give me a hard time by act like he didn't understand what I'm talking about. Of course, I didn't speak well English at that time too. But and one day I looked at the guy. I said, "If you don't understand my English, that's your problem. And if I don't understand your English, that's your problem. So either way, it's your problem." He said, "Why?" I said, "Oh, let me explain to you why. I'm trying to speak your English. I'm not speaking Chinese or Vietnamese. Don't you think that you try to understand somebody try to speak your language?" He said, "Yeah, you're right." And then I said to him, I said, "You speak your mother tongue to a foreigner. Don't you think that you have to speak to the way that they understand?"
Of course.
So it's very important. So the guy said, "Yeah, you're right." So either way is your problem. So from then on, he never picked me. I said that to one of my customers, a kid, not even high school yet, middle school. He studied Chinese, and he came here, and his father said, "Talk Chinese to Larry," and he's kind of shy. And then so I told him the story. He said, "When you speak Chinese to a Chinese, if they laugh at you or they don't try to
That's
help
their
you,
problem.
that's their problem. Because you try to speak, you try to learn the language.
Of course.
It's just like, so I said, just if you see a Chinese and you want to practice your Chinese, just say it. And they would try to help you out, mostly.
Yeah.
If some jerk, laugh at your Chinese, that you don't want to deal with that person. That's what the life is you go through. And in that town, I'm growing up with a lot of people that they later on they invite me to go to the Kawana club to speak to, and some of the professor that retire, they would take me to their house to try to help me out for American history, English, and all these things. It's very nice. It's a small town. They really, when they accept you, and one of the things they accept you in the book, they say, "Have you heard the word honky? Have you heard that word before? Honky, like
It's more in the southern.
like the white people call the. That's not a good term to talk in public. Like the white people call the black people N word.
Yeah.
And that is the black people call the white people honky. So the guy that put the picture in there, because I want to emphasize that he worked for the post office, and he told me one day, they said he's very proud to be honky. And I said, "What's that mean?" And he said, "No, you don't learn that word in school." So from him, as he accept me as one of them. And it turned out that, just like I mentioned to you, that your altitude, your character, the way you deal with people, you change a lot of people's mind, a lot of people's altitude. They skeptical, but after they found that who you are, what you are, they change. I did change a lot of people. I have a lot of friends in Tennessee, in Irwin, Tennessee.
Yeah. They come to support you.
So it's in life, Alan. You need to approach people in a positive way first.
To try and
You try, and if try. If they don't accept you, they don't accept you. It doesn't matter. But if you don't try, you don't know. Right?
Of course, yeah. And that's what makes you so, I guess, popular also in the
You
refugee
go out,
camps and also in basically everywhere.
Yeah, just like in the refugee camp, in the boat, I volunteer to do a lot of things. That's why I didn't have to be, because the young people at that time have to be in the bottom of the boat, and it's very bad atmosphere.
Hygiene too.
Yeah, and also that's where they use the fishermen. They use put fish down there.
Oh,
Smell there
smell.
too.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to be down there. But then I volunteer because some of the people that work on the boat could not stand the seasick, so I volunteered to help out. So at night I don't, because everybody sit like sardine. You cannot even lay. You cannot stretch out to sleep. So luckily I'm on the top, so I got on the cabin. Top of the cabin they have luggage, so I sleep up there at night. And because of the cabin, I need to reel the rope to tie me up tie my feet and my leg, my arm. Otherwise, at night you sleep, you fall in the water. That's gone.
And the captain won't come
No,
back or whatever.
they already told from the beginning, whoever that fall into the water, they're not going to stop the boat to rescue because it could jeopardize the rest of the boat people.
Okay.
So on the third day, one of the elderly person, he was not feeling well to get on the boat from the beginning, so he died.
Yeah.
And I sit really not too far from him. I heard his daughter crying, and then we tried to help him, but he already died. So we have to throw the body in the ocean because you cannot leave.
Turn back to the government.
No, you cannot leave the dead body on the boat with so many people.
Disease.
Yeah, we already the third day. We don't want to come back to you come back. It's very dangerous.
2 more days and then that's dangerous.
So we have to throw. Yeah, we have to throw the body into the ocean. It's very. And I was one of the people to throw that body into the ocean.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And then we got to refugee camp, and again, because of I speak some Chinese and some English, and of course Vietnamese too. So I help out the Malaysian Red Cross, but because Malaysia is a Muslim country, they don't call Red Cross; they call Red Crescent.
Oh, okay.
Use the crescent.
It's the same thing as
Red Cross.
As Red Cross, but equivalent in Muslim.
Yeah, in Muslim. Okay. Yeah. So I jump out and be helping them, and then they want me to be, distribute food to the refugee. This is really a good. Yeah, I always volunteer. I never want to sit one place. I want to go out and help out.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, that's also what makes your restaurant so successful, right?
Yeah. In the restaurant, you have to. Yeah.
You have to really go out and network, and
you have to talk to everybody.
Yeah. Can you share some tips on how to do those, and also especially how to reach out to your customers or whatever? Because in your restaurant, that's what you did, and that's what makes you so successful.
Yeah. See, I don't cook.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought that I know how to cook, but I don't. We used to have about 3 restaurants in the EC, one here. This one is about 22 years now. This restaurant, but I deal the fun. I deal with the customers. I take care of the service. That's very important too, because I always told the chef that no matter how good you cook, but if you don't have people in front to take care of good customers,
of course, the service. Yeah.
And no matter how good I'm in the front, if you don't keep the food consistent, then you cannot keep the customer coming. So, and then I always go out to a lot of the events. I was at the Smithsonian last night for they call Folk Life Festival. Every year they have that. If you have time, you should go. They start today until Sunday.
Oh,
they have 1 million people come every year. Folk Life in the mall. In the Washington D.C. mall.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was there so I go out a lot to talk to people and introduce ourselves. Because you don't sit in the restaurant and wait for the customer to show up. You go out, and so we do a lot, and then we do a lot with Congress. We when the house have a late section, they need to have dinner. We always catering to them, 200-300 people, and the Senate, everything. So I go out a lot too.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, I mean, since we're just talking about your restaurant, let's talk about it more. So, originally in 1988, you came to City Lights of China. So, I assume it was a bold decision, right? It was a bold offer because you lived in a completely different city.
Yeah,
and
Miami.
You have never managed a restaurant, I suppose. Your family business was a drugstore back in Vietnam. So
herbal medicine,
so herbal medicine, right? Yeah. So how did you come to accept this bold offer, and what makes you overcome the unseen challenges and the fear, if there is any?
Well, I always want to go into business. I always an entrepreneur. And when my brother-in-law know the chef at City Light of China, and they want somebody to run the dining room, so he called me up, and I went up here. I looked at the around, and of course you cannot tell that I love politics. So you cannot find a better city than the DMV area.
Yes, of course.
So I said, okay, let me accept it. At that time, I didn't even know much about business in restaurant. But business management is management. You can manage a software, you can manage a financial service, you can manage it. It's just a management. It's very important.
You learn in college.
Yeah, you learn. I learned. I was in college. I was actually when I first started And you heard that that's the
Yeah.
and when I started computer science because I think at that time it's easy to find a job with computer science. But after 2 years, I'm not going sitting there and look at
Just
the
another thing.
programmer. Not my thing. I need to go out. So I changed into business and finance. So it helped. So I graduated from college as a business degree in finance. So it helped. So I took over the management of Sea Lice at the time and start from when it was about 60 some thousand a month business. We got it to about 300 something. So
Yeah, that's
five-folds.
and
And
yeah,
just
yeah.
the service.
And that was in the that was before 2000.
Yeah, in
So.
the 1990s.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
At that time, in the 1990s, at that time, Sea Life China was the Chinese restaurant in town. The best, the most famous. Every day we have people like we online, word of mouth, people come and one after the other, and we serve the Clinton White House at the time too. So in the front in the dining room, you not just come to you get to get to know the customer and take good care of them. One thing, Alan, you need to keep in mind that anytime you later become entrepreneur or those things, every customer of yours you just make him or her feel like he or she is the only customer that you take good care. The rest is okay. You take good care out of you, but he just like you come in, I make sure that I make Alan feel like I take care of Alan more than anybody else. If each customer think like that, you got it. Not only restaurant business, but in your
anything,
anything in your business. Later on, you run a financial service. You just make the customer. I take good care of you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
that's a very important.
Yeah.
Feel very touched when you really care about them.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have made like thousands of friends like during your restaurant I would say career, especially in the Meiwah in DC. So just a general question, like what do you see, because you have seen so many popular people or the important political figures, what do you see that's important in them that we should all have, like what features do you see in them that we should all have?
Yeah, see, we're in DC, so we're in the capital.
Yeah.
So you deal with mostly political figures. The Congress, the Senate, governor coming to hear for meeting, the White House people would know this thing. If Meiwah was in LA, I have to know movie stars.
Yeah.
You know, that's just your clientele. So if you have the president just come once, you don't want them to come too often, because they come too often, it's too much trouble. The security,
the Secret Service.
they come once are good enough, and some of the famous people like Alan Greenspan, the Fed chair and all this thing, they come once good enough. They take a picture. You have the wall. People say, "Oh boy, this restaurant have so many of these people come," and that is very good marketing.
Of course.
The picture, because we could not do that here in this location, because we're on the second floor. People don't walk by, they don't see it.
Yeah.
But in DC, our restaurant is right in the corner, very good corner, and you walk by, you can see picture of every
important figure.
Yeah, and people say, "Wow, this must be." That's a marketing too. Anyway, and in the U.S., marketing is everything.
Of course.
And I learned that China, the business in China, back in the 1980s or early 90s, the marketing is very poor. But now they are really good. And the packaging, they're good too. But in the restaurant business, that's just very important, the clientele that you have. And those congressmen or senator, when they saw the picture on the wall, they, believe me, it's only a Chinese restaurant, but they feel very good. They bring their friend come, and when their family come, they walk to the wall to show the picture on the wall.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I sometimes I say, well, it's just only a Chinese restaurant. It's not a museum or something. But those congressmen, they are politicians. They are big ego. They always big ego. That's why they want to be politician. One time one of the staff come to tell me, said, "Sir, my boss wants to take a picture with you." I said, "Who's your boss?" He said, "That's the congressman." It turned out that congressman come to Meiwah, eat lunch, and he saw his colleague's picture on the wall, and he's not. He felt left out.
Yeah.
So he wanted to have his picture on the wall too.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing. I just saw even the senator. I saw him come in and take their family to walk to show the picture. And I said, "Wow." So he works that marketing work when we put that picture on.
It's making them more important than everyone else.
Exactly. And another thing is that since we're in DC, I recognize about 95 senators walking to Meiwah.
Oh.
From what state? See, the U.S. they have 50 states.
Yeah.
In every state, they're very proud about their own state.
Yeah.
So we say, "Oh, you're from Tennessee, senator from Tennessee, and you talk about things happen in Tennessee that they're very proud of, like the volunteer football team or whatever. They are very happy about it. They are very proud of that. So that's why I and a lot of Chinese restaurants, those people walk in, nobody even know who they are. Even here, if I'm not here, my staff they don't even recognize. Sometimes I walk out and say, "Oh, this is Justice." Like 10 days ago, we have the Supreme Court Justice here.
Oh wow.
Ken J. Jackson, the new.
Oh yeah.
And nobody recognize her, you know. Or some senator from Massachusetts, Ed Mackey, they come, she sit there and eat, nobody know that. So I come out and say, "Oh, senator," they feel very good.
Of course.
You know, and you have to like. You don't have to like it. So I don't recognize movie star or singer that much. I don't watch a lot of movie. I don't.
Well, you're not in LA, so.
Yeah, and so like Mick Jagger, it's the Rolling Stone was very famous.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that famous until he came to our restaurant.
And everyone was taking pictures.
Boy, though everybody's so excited to know that Mick Jagger there. Not you cannot go there and take picture. They sometimes they don't want it, but but he was in the restaurant, and I didn't know he was that important until the newspaper come out. Boy, I got call from all the network come to interview me because they cannot interview him.
Oh yeah.
I said, "Wow, this guy's really big." Yeah, so it's fun, and I always got pointed out by the customers. They recognize those people, but I don't.
Yeah. So let's switch gears a little bit. So you said one thing that made your restaurant so successful. You might be very successful is that your leadership. You say you have your leadership style from your father, which is like treat your staff well and
exactly
give them whatever they want or whatever.
You have a good memory.
Yeah. And what else do you learn from leading all
we all Asian and some Asian business people they don't eat with their staff. They don't. Especially the culture in not here, but at least in there.
It's very hierarchical.
Yeah, they separate. They eat different. But when I grew up, I saw my father eat with his male staff, and my mother eats with the female staff. Whatever my mother eat, they eat. Whatever father eat, they eat. I said, "Well, that's really important." and I eat with them too. I'm the boy, and I eat with my father. My sister would eat with my mother, something like that. So. Treating your staff is very important because
of course
you run a business, your staff, reliable staff and trustworthy. Alan always think in life that nothing is one-way street. If you don't treat people well, you don't expect them to treat you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's that case. You don't say, "Oh, I'm the boss. I'm the one that pay them salary. I can do it." No, that's one thing. Yeah, they come to work. Of course, they get paid. But beside that, would they do extra thing for you, behind you? You don't know. So it's very important. Some of my staff when they living at night, I said thank you. I said, why you say thank you? I said, well, I thank you that you help.
They work hard.
Yeah, you help me something that I don't even see it. It's very important. So leadership and management is very important.
That's a very good insight. Let's do this. So you are a very successful restaurateur. You have like 3 restaurants that are all very big and successful. So let's make this more general. For a lot of the Asian families coming here, would you suggest them to open a restaurant, or like what business would you suggest them to open?
Don't open restaurant. It's very hard work.
Okay.
Long hours. No, restaurant is one of the business. You can do any kind of business. Don't have to be a restaurant. But restaurant it look easy from outside, but it's not. It's very tough business.
Okay.
First, if anybody want to open restaurant, ask them to come to talk to me. I give them free consultation. First, you have to endure long hour.
Oh, okay.
10, 14 hours easily. Especially when you first open up, you need to get things going. When I opened the one in Meiwah, DC, I sleep in the restaurant.
Oh.
They're 7 days a week. Just to get things going first, to get it into the system. It's pretty tough. And the chef, it's important to keep the food going, but the fun is very important to take good care of the customer, and whoever they do fun, like manager, have to like people. If you don't like to talk to people, you go to the wrong business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to come. And I talk to almost every table that I walk by. I just say hello, ask them, and then sometimes you become friends. I have a lot of my customers become good friends. They take me out to their boat and they come to their home for Thanksgiving, all these things. We just become friends. So when I have two big restaurants, one in DC, one here, people come to eat. They call me or they text me, said, Larry, where are you? Are you in Cherokee or are you in DC? They just come. They come to you, but they want to see me too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like I give them something free. No, it's not like, it just come when they see me, they feel good. And again, when they come with their family, they come with their friend, and I come out and say hello. They feel, wow, you know the owner, you know that. You make them feel very, very important.
Of course. Of course.
Just like I tell you that you make him okay. He's the only one that you take good care of.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very important that. So restaurant is tough. It's not that I don't advise you to go to restaurant business, but you have to have a lot of commitment to go to restaurant business to do, because you deal with hundreds of people every day. Good thing that most customers are very good, but
There's
still
always a
again
few.
you run into some what we call high maintenance customer. No matter what you do, they're not happy. So we deal with that, and I told my staff, when you run into those high maintenance customers, don't feel like it's a problem, feel like it's a challenge. How can you make these people
overcome it,
happy?
yeah.
If you make those people satisfied,
Everyone will be happy.
everything else so easy.
Yeah.
So don't look at that as a problem at all. Yeah. Some, just like one example, when a very rich lady, I mean, her husband was very wealthy, and we know them well. And she want the waiter come to tell me that she want to order a glass of wine, but she want to the rim. If you put for the bar you to the rim, you cannot carry it.
Carry it, yeah.
So they didn't want to say, okay, don't worry, let me take care of that. So get an empty glass, put in front of her a bottle, and fill all the way to the rim for her. When she pick up, it's spill all over. But that's what she wants.
That's what she wants, yeah.
Yeah, make them happy. That's our job. Our job is to make the customer happy, to make the customer.
So a lot of social interactions that
Yeah,
you don't like that,
yeah.
then it's a
And
little bit harder.
another thing is that you come to try to take care of the customer, talking to them and chatting with them, but you have to realize that if they come by themselves, one person is okay. But if they have two or three people, you don't want to stay there and talk too much. And you can tell whether they want.
They want to talk or not.
They change the subject. They say, "Oh, I like your tie." And you know that they want you to, hey, get out. I have something to talk to my. And it's happened. And but some of them they want you to come down and talk, like, especially people that come by one person, like the senator from New Jersey, Frank Lautenberg. He used to come to our DC restaurant a lot, and he's a senator. You don't just sit down with him, even he come by himself. But a few times I talked to him, he said, Larry, why don't you sit down? So from there, I sit down. And anytime he come to eat, I sit down and talk to him, and we talk about a real thing happened in the Senate. And he liked it. And after a while, one time he offered me a job.
Oh, yeah.
He said, Larry, do you want to have a part-time job in my office? I said, Senator, thanks, but no thing. I have two big restaurant to run. I don't. He said, you know more about politics than some of my staff. That's what he said. He said, it's fun. It's fun to deal with those people. They really very helpful.
Yeah.
Like I told you, most of the politicians, most of them very, very, very nice, very courtesy.
That's why they got elected.
Yeah, but it feels arrogant. It feels big ego. But most of them are very good.
Yeah.
But even big ego, they still like in the book I said that a senator from Ohio, he made the reservation, and my hostess is a Chinese lady, came from this country as an immigrant, and she answered the phone, and he won a certain time of the reservation, but because the restaurant was so busy, she said, no, we cannot take you 7:30. You have to be 8 o'clock. And she kept telling the girl that this is Senator Massenbaum. because he assumed everybody in DC have to know who sent the message bomb. So that poor girl didn't even know who. So we have to take 8 o'clock instead of 7:30, and that's kind of no for this kind of person. And so when it time to put down the name, the girl said, "What's your name again?" He said, "Senator Massenbaum." And the girl said, "Are you your first name is Senator?" Can't make him really upset. So when he come and I take good care of him, and then when he was leaving, I said, "Senator, everything okay?" He said, "Yeah, your food's very good, but the girl gave me a hard time. I thought the waitress didn't take good care of him, but he still can get over with the phone." So I pull out my business card. I said, "Senator, call me next time. I personally take good care of you." Very happy to go.
Yeah.
And that's our job to make the pivot. So I will tell my staff is that the two words very common that everyone use it, thank you or sorry, but how you say it's very important.
Of course.
Just like if you sit there and the customer leaving, you say thank you, but you have to get up with your chair. You cannot just say thank you and you don't want to look at them. If you don't want to say thank you, don't look at them. Just pretend you didn't see them. But if you want to say thank you, you have to say it in proper way.
Of course.
Otherwise, people, and sorry too. If you say sorry, how you say the tone is very important. You say sorry. It's worse than you don't say it.
Yeah.
Especially on the phone when customer call and complain something.
Of course.
You handle it. How you say is very important. You say sorry, but it's really sorry. It's not like they can tell. Your tone is very important.
Yeah.
So those things, those words, just everybody know what thank you mean, what sorry mean. But how you say is very important, and your attitude. How just like you greet the customer, they can know that you are fake or you are really care about them and all these things. It's very important. They know. I mean, people. We know. So that's very important to be upfront to deal with customer in the kitchen. Okay. But if you want to do restaurant, make sure that your chef is your partners, because in that case you keep the chef there. They don't when the business is so good and they say, "Okay, I quit tomorrow," you're in trouble.
Of course.
So all my chef partners, so they're okay.
They get a share. Right?
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about the kitchen, and of course I come in if the customer does not like something, where I have to tell them
feedback, but yeah.
So if you want to go to the restaurant, not you, but somebody else.
Anyone, yeah.
Yeah. But it's tough business.
You have to have a very good work ethic.
But it's a good business that if you do it from like me, I got to know so many people, meet so many different people. Supreme Court Justice, Senator here, Senator there. Yeah, President. And you got invited to different events. I will go to different embassy. Just like I told you that if I go to the embassy of Singapore, for example, and I'm talking to the ambassador of Singapore, and then some other ambassador come, and the ambassador of Singapore say, "Oh, do you know Larry here from Meiwah restaurant?" And that's a big endorsement from the ambassador.
Of course, that's good.
And the other ambassador, they say, "Wow, this must be a good restaurant." Yeah. So it's you go out and bring the business in. You not just sit there.
I mean, even prime ministers came to your place, right?
Yeah, we have different prime minister.
I saw in your book.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with that. And the word of mouth, people tell people, said, "Oh,
yeah."
Word of mouth in this business is very important,
especially when it's like very close cycle in like DC.
Yeah.
So a lot of this comes from your hardworking work ethic. So where do you think you developed it from?
Well, just like the background, I was born and grew up in a very hardship. You born in Beijing, nothing happened. Grow up with your parents, take good care of you. You come here, but we grew up with.
What is this?
We grew up with a lot of hardship. We grew up with the war going on, and you went through a lot of things. Even my father was a very successful businessman. We lived pretty comfortably in my house. And even in the 1960s, 70s, we already have refrigerator and everything like that. I was surprised that when I went to China in 1987 to get my brother, I have an oldest brother. He was the firstborn in the family. But then 5 years old, my father sent him to China with the grandparents.
Okay.
And he stayed there since. So when I was born, I knew that I have a brother.
But you
from
never
the
met
same parents. Never met, never talked on the phone, because at that time
you didn't have the phones over there.
Yeah, and even in 1980s, after we came to the U.S., China still
What
not
is that
everybody
about?
have phone, right? Not everybody
Yeah.
have the phone at that time. In 1987, I went to China first time to meet my brother. I took the train from Hong Kong to Guangzhou. He's from Guangzhou. He's a teacher there, high school
Oh,
teacher.
okay.
And he had to carry my picture so he can recognize because all the Chinese come out from the train. So and that's the first time I met my own brother. And that's the first time I went to China. At that time, not many places in China, not many restaurants in China have refrigerator or ice. That's only 1987, not too long ago. But in the U.S., we drink anything cold. We drink
Oh, yeah,
cold
yeah.
beer and everything. And over
Everything's
there,
hot in China.
yeah. So they put the beer in the water just to keep it cool, but not cold at all.
Yeah.
Even I took a flight from Guangzhou to Beijing, first class, and the flight attendant asked me what I want to drink. I said iced tea. She said tea, and you want ice in there? I said yeah. So we drink iced tea here. But in China, they don't. They drink tea as hot tea.
Yeah.
And no, not many people have except a big hotel at the time. But look, China nowadays is so much different. The second
The basic
economy of the
infrastructure is
world.
even better than here.
Yeah, a lot because they build new, everything new.
Yeah.
This one has been for a long time. Shenzhen is many times better than Hong Kong. Yeah, because Warren Buffett, right?
Mm-hmm.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
You start as finance, you have to know that he just retired from Boston Highway. He said one time I was listening to him. He said China is the only country in the whole civilization that can change from almost nothing to what it is today, and it's really amazing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, in 1987 when I went there, I said, "Wow." As I told you, in Vietnam in 1960 or 70, we even have refrigerator at my house.
Mm-hmm.
But in China, I don't. But now everything is amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry to get back to.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Those good insights.
Yeah.
Great stories.
And when I went to China in 2000. My daughter, she studied at GW, but in the summer she had a program in Hangzhou,
Oh, yeah.
Zhejiang Daxue, and she's there for the 3 months study. So after she finished, we went to see her, and then we toured China. So when we come back, the Secretary of Transportation, Rila Hood, a good friend of him, he asked me, he said, "What do you see in China? What's your observation?" I said two things: communication and transportation. Chinese used to be in different region. They have different dialects. Nobody understands each other.
Yeah.
People from Guangzhou cannot understand people from Shanghai or Fujian or Fuzhou. All these things, people cannot communicate. And then
Now it's standardized.
yeah, now everybody speak Mandarin, so that's very important. Like in the United States, if you have 50 states, every state has to speak different language. Like EU, that's hard. But in China, same thing. Used to be. Go back to my father's hometown. Nobody speak Mandarin. Nobody speak Cantonese. They only speak Hakka and Hakka, and that's very disadvantage. And transportation that's why the dialect from even Hakka from Guangzhou go back to my hometown. The Hakka is different because people don't see each other. Bicycle, it's transportation. Now it took about 4 hours to go back from Guangzhou to my hometown. When we were there in 1987, it took a day and a half.
Oh.
The transportation is so bad. The road was so poor. Now with high-speed rail, everything. So that's very important. People communicate with each other. So communication and transportation. I told the Secretary of Transportation here is very important, and it's really amazing that China can change so fast and so good. How to keep that way? Yeah, I told the Secretary about that.
All right, so let's close off with this. So, what's the most important thing that you have learned throughout your career that you want to share with us, or anything specific you want to share with us in general for students, immigrants, family alike?
Resilient. You have to work hard, overcome obstacles. Don't back up. Just keep moving. Fail is not important. You fail, you get up again, do it again. It's in a space business. You start out, of course, everything is very hard from the beginning.
Yeah.
But after you get through, so you really have to work hard from the beginning to get it going. until it get into the system before you can move on for next project. And so resilient, try to overcome a lot of obstacles in life is very important. Just like I came here, I overcome language, how to speak the language, how to adapt to the new cultures, and how to adapt to the new environment is very important to overcome a lot of these things. Yeah, and just keep in mind that what you like, what you dream about doing something, go with that dream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
go
you.
with that dream and dream big. Dream
Big.
big dream. Yeah, dream big dream, and
Yeah.
you'll be here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Alan Mao, Sing Mao.
Yes.
But Mao is very important.
Thank you, Mr. La, for sharing his story with us. We learned a lot from his journey, whether it's the adversities you face or the successful restaurants you created. And of course, we cannot share all his story in 40 minutes or so. So if you're still interested, if you're interested in more of his story, you can go ahead and buy his book, Square Moon, on every bookstore or whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.